Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and it's time for another figure reveal from Mezco. This time we're checking out the new Dick Tracy vs. Flat Top box set, which I could not be more stoked about. So let's take a look and see what we're getting. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Flat Top here. I love the promotional images that we're getting for this guy. We get an image of him just sitting at a table, having a drink. We get another one of him firing away with his Tommy gun with that really cool blast effect. We have another image here holding the violin case, which, you know, and back in those days, they used to hide their guns in those violin cases, which I think is really neat. And then we get a really cool comic book almost like image of him just hanging out by a brick wall, you know, being real sneaky and being totally gangster, so I love that a lot. So now we're going to break down all the different things that he does come with here. We do get 4 interchangeable heads, which is really nice. We're going to, of course, start off with the more standard stoic head. We do have a head where he's kind of looking off to the side and being very suspicious, which I think is cool. We do get that really nice smirking head, which I think is great as well. And, of course, a very angry head. That's the one you're going to want to use when he's, you know, throwing down with Dick Tracy, so I think it's very cool. And then we do, of course, get 10 interchangeable hands. I always love the amount of hands we get with a Mezco figure. And then that really cool Dick Tracy stand. I was kind of hoping we'd get a specific stand for Flat Top himself, but it looks like he's just going to be coming with the standard Dick Tracy emblem. We also do get an image here showing that the green coat is a separate piece, so that is removable, and you can just put that on if you want to. It does look really nice. Not sure if it's on a bendy wire, but it does say that it has a faux fur lining for the neck piece, which I think is really cool. Now we get to check out things like his weapons. So he does come with a sawed-off shotgun, so that's really nice looking. We do get a pistol with magazines. We do get a blackjack, which I believe is some type of like club they used to just hit people over the heads with and things like that. It does say a foldable knife, so that's really cool. Get a little switchblade there. We do get a nice crowbar. We also do get a Tommy gun with 2 removable drum magazines, and then that violin case, which also doubles as a gun case for the Tommy gun, again, which I think is super awesome and super gangster. So now we're going to move on to Dick Tracy here, man. I freaking love this figure. What's really cool is that the way they're doing the style of both of these figures is a lot like what they did with the Popeye figure, where they take that almost cartoon-like design, but make it kind of realistic, so where it has this weird, cool look to it. I don't know, but I just love it. I absolutely love what they did with Popeye, and I'm kind of getting that same vibe here with this set, which is going to make me love it more and more. And honestly, I'm surprised we haven't gotten more Dick Tracy figures over the years. I know it's a very old-school niche thing, but man, I've been dying for a killer Dick Tracy, and it looks like we're finally getting that from Mezco. So now let's take a look at all the things that we get with Dick Tracy here. So we do get 3 interchangeable heads. You got a more standard head, you got a little bit of a smiling head, then you do get the more angry head, which looks pretty gnarly, and then, man, that oh so beautiful classic yellow hat, which I just think is gorgeous. I remember as a kid always wanting a really dope yellow fedora. I don't know, it was weird, but I just loved it so much. We also do get 13 interchangeable hands, which is mind-blowing. That's like Gomez level of hands, you know what I mean? But he has a lot of gadgets and things like that he's going to have specific hands for, so that works out great. And then we, of course, do get that standard Dick Tracy stand that we saw with Flat Top, so that looks really good too. So also, much like Flat Top, they are showing that the coat is a separate piece, and man, just that iconic yellow trench coat which is so Dick Tracy, which makes him stand out from any other type of like comic book like character. I think it's just so awesome, and again, I love that this is happening. I just cannot be more excited. Okay, so now let's start breaking down Dick Tracy's accessories here. He, of course, does come with a machine gun with 2 magazines, which is really nice. We do get a revolver pistol and a standard handgun. We do get a flashlight, and it seems we also do get a pair of handcuffs. We do get a badge, and then we do get his wristwatch, which has a little effect piece, which I think is really cool, and a little mug of coffee, which I think is hilarious. And then lastly, we also do get multiple muzzle effect pieces for the different types of guns, and these could be used for either Dick Tracy or Flat Top. It really doesn't matter, you can use them for both. And then we do get a gun holster for Dick Tracy himself, so we're getting a lot of good things for not just Dick Tracy, but for both figures as a whole. So there it is, guys, the full reveal of the new Mezco 112 Collective Dick Tracy vs. Flat Top set. Now, man, this has got to be one of my most anticipated figures ever, as again, I have been wanting a truly badass Dick Tracy figure since I was a little kid. I had that vintage toy line, and I loved them so much, and as an adult, I had wanted a Dick Tracy for so freaking long, and it looks like we're getting him from my favorite toy line. Now, the flat top also looks really awesome. I am so stoked for that thing. The head sculpts are just perfect on all of these. And again, what do you guys think of them taking this almost like animated style and making them a little more realistic, again, like they did with Popeye, which I think works great. Again, I love those figures, and I'm dying to get these. I personally am picking up a couple of sets of this particular from myself, as I just want to have different options. I might even make some extra gangsters, or I could, what I would like to do also, without the yellow coat, maybe make a Bruce Wayne figure, just pop on a Bruce Wayne head on that black suit with the red tie. I think that would be really cool too. I'm also really curious to see the articulation on these, if they're going to use single jointed elbows or not, and stuff like that. And I'm really curious because, you know, Dick Tracy himself doesn't look a little bulkier than Flat Top, so we'll see how that goes. So are you guys picking up this set? I know I am. I'm so stoked for it. And this really is one of my most anticipated figures in a very long time. So be excellent to each other and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.